Governor Newsom says he is fed up. There are no more excuses. He says the state has done its part, providing plenty of funding to get encampments cleared up. He wants to see the results now. Governor Newsom made the announcement here in Los Angeles yesterday. He joined Caltrans to clear several encampment sites.
And we had our big beach body challenge today. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups. You try to get under 5 minutes. How'd you go?
We got close. I was about 5:25. You were right behind me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat, our Thursday night pre-Halloween show. What is my costume?
You're Hawaiian Karen?
I don't even know. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Know.
I don't know. This was so half-assed. And who's eating? I'm also a cannibal. I'm eating.
Oh, I like that.
Arm of one of Josh's props.
I was going to say that has to be from a movie. Is that something famous, or is this an honor we get to see?
It might be from Saw. I don't know. Disgusting. Okay, I'm taking
That's
out
cool.
the costumes. It's a little
very
distracting.
cool. I just came right from work. I almost pulled the hey, I'm an electrician, but that's so corny. Who gives a shit?
That would have been good. Well, I was just watching Revolutionary Change with Jen Perlman and Peter Hager, and she was Miss Rachel, and she was adorable. I was like, oh, that was it's such a nice, simple
clever
costume, but it's really the pink
wholesome
with the overalls. It was perfect. Yeah. So I just stole Xander's hat, Josh's props, and now I'm putting them all away so I can focus. How are you?
You're official. I'm just happy I'm off of work, drinking a big tall beer that's invisible almost work friendly because of the blue green screen,
I like it.
So life is good. How's all?
Life is, we are the lucky ones.
We're doing a show.
We're doing a show. Here we are. We're the lucky ones. There's actually a lot to talk about. What Thursday was always going to be for us was anyway, it was going to be a shorter show, but I've somehow managed to always put too many extra graphics.
Every week Lila maximizes the graphics. So I'm like, can I have one space to upload a cat video?
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's like an obsession with me. It's ridiculous. I feel yes, absolutely. Jen was adorable, and I loved her guest. I loved their show. It was great. And the costumes, I am sorry to say, are really lacking by Pat.
Yeah.
But we have the background, so
I'm a Bernie bro. I'm a Bernie
there
bro.
You go. You're a flashback.
Yeah.
You are a flashback. I have not been in a live show, watching a live show for a while, for a week, which is since this whole thing with YouTube changed, where in the chat right now, everybody for us is your @handle, but I noticed for them, everybody was normal with your normal Halgo00.
Yeah.
Holly, right? So I don't understand.
There's a setting we must have to find somewhere to change something YouTube changed, but we'll figure it out.
We will work on it, I promise.
Between shows.
Yeah. Welcome. Please do make sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. We do not have a cheers today, but we do.
In lieu of cheers, we're going to do some Halloween videos, basically.
Right. Which I'm getting up here now. Sorry.
Of two different varietals.
Yeah.
There's the lulls or puppets. Either way. Or drinking, of course, and smoking, whatever your thing is.
Yeah, that will be happening no matter what we land on. Let's face it. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
That would have been funny, Justin, if you had gone as Peter.
How would you dress as him, though? I mean, I remember his podcast. His podcast had literal elevator music in the beginning. Sorry, I hope he's not watching because I like Peter now, but his podcast
I don't remember that.
had elevator music.
Yeah, baby.
I don't remember. All right, we gotta let the yellow out.
Let's do some Halloween scaring kids because that's fun.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly, that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No, God, please, no, no,
no. Girls, grab your candy! That's what I'm gonna do when someone tries to scare me. I'm gonna, I can't breathe. Puppy.
Those are dead puppies.
Am I the only one getting joy out of this?
Oh my God, no!
Gray, look.
The trauma.
That that's pushing right up against the edge. Although I think I've told you that when Josh was directing this movie called Crawl Space that I was in, and Xander had like a starring role in it. He was 5 years old, and all of his scenes were with the guy living in the crawl space, which was Steven Weber, and he was scary. And so there was one time where it was like up in the attic, and Xander was supposed to like hide from him in a trunk, and he was so scared of being up in the attic. And even though it's like it's not for an adult, it's not really scary because you see all the lights. There's like 100 people standing around with grips, eating donuts, whatever. Right. But he was so terrified that we had to dress Asher and film him from behind to pretend to be Xander and get in the trunk. And that is when the studio, they call it a studio teacher, but it's basically the person who's supposed to be there to make sure that you're not abusing people under 15 who are on set. Yeah.
Right. Like they have the sex coaches now and all that. Same concept, but for kids. Yeah.
Yeah. She was very concerned with Josh's and my parenting on set. So, yeah.
Justifiably. Yeah. That reminded me of, I had a girlfriend who had a tarantula, which was like who wants a tarantula? I don't know.
But, they're cool. They're fuzzy. They're like hairy.
Yeah, they were big. She had one. It was big. But the cool thing about them is they molt their entire body. Oh. So what that means is you have an entire realistic shell of a tarantula to scare everyone who comes to your house every single time. And I put that thing to use. It was amazing. I
am sure. That's actually really cool. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of scary, how do you like that? Do you like that?
Good pivot.
Speaking of scary, we are in the final week of this ridiculous, first of all, how humiliating that Andrew Cuomo has stayed in this race. Like, he lost the primary as a Democrat. And because he's a sore loser and a big baby, he is continuing something that he forever thought was beneath him. Like, he thought this would be a cakewalk that was beneath him, and he lost. He's still losing. They are pushing what we talked about yesterday, which was that clip of Zoran from 2023 talking about, or was it 2023 or 2022? Now I can't remember. We've taken out, but where he talks about globalizing the struggle, globalize Intifada people. So people understand that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's laced by the IDF, which is 100% accurate. They're open about it. There are NYPD branches in Israel and in the West Bank, right? So here today, this is the New York Post video shows Zohran Mamdani fervently shouting about defunding Israeli settler violence just months before October 7th. The crazy thing to me about this piece is, okay, they try to make him look like a scary, dark Muslim terrorist guy, but like on the left, they are showing settler violence
it's
before October 7th.
They're trying to link him to the violence he's opposed to on the left.
It's crazy.
Look, all this stuff, it's like I said, it's silly season. I mean, for anyone watching that old video of Mamdani, for anyone turned off by it calcifies your support if you're on the other side of the issue. So it's just like, well, and which side is the public more on? They're more on Mamdani's position anyway. So yeah, get that video out like crazy. It's not going to change a damn thing.
And there was nothing, I mean, yeah, what we're really seeing is just how entirely devoid of policy, politics, any integrity everybody to the right of him is, because they won't talk about his policies at all, except that, oh, he's a crazy,
vaguely, socialist,
anti-Semite.
Right, socialist, anti-Semite.
Yeah.
Or communist. They'll call him communist sometimes, which is even, clearly he's not communist.
Clearly. We've got Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL. There's a word for this kind of twisted fear-mongering and conspiratorial thinking. It's anti-Semitism. Then we've got Scott Jennings, big surprise, hard to know who he hates more, the cops or the Jews, pray for New York City. We've got Bernard-Henri Lévy, great intellectual thinker. When mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani says, when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF. Make no mistake, this is anti-Semitism. I think these people are in for a big surprise, because what they've done is hitch their wagon to Trump and the right wing, because they have always been pro an apartheid ethno-state. Of course, it's a great model for every, despot who wants a religious ethno-state, right, or a white supremacist who wants to learn from the way Israel has controlled the undesirables in their midst. But there is a big cleavage happening between there's a break happening within the Republican Party of the America First, who used to be very pro-Israel because of the white supremacy, who is now becoming virulently anti-Israel, but it's tinged, I think, also with true anti-Semitism, like a Nick Fuentes or a Marjorie Taylor Greene,
right,
or a Stefanik, right? Like with the space.
But I think it's almost not just a split. It's like they're branching into three segments. Yeah. The Trump can do nothing wrong, the anti-Israel because you're racist, and the we are America first, and that's why I supported Trump anyway. So why is all of our foreign policy Ukraine and bombing Venezuela soon? It's all why is all that happening? I thought it was about us. You know, so there's that piece, but I think it's fracturing on the Democratic side, because you've got a lot of Democrats that are saying, I will not support anyone who takes AIPAC money. And so that's going to make a rift of them fake not taking AIPAC money, but taking it through back channels and whatnot.
Exactly.
But it's still a rift on the left. So all of this is helping the anti-funding Israel, pro-Palestine movement is benefiting from all this fake anti-Semitism in a way.
I agree. And I'm really grateful for it. Although I do, and we've touched on this a little bit before. I think the true anti-Semitism is going to start making itself very clear, as it hides behind, oh no, we're just anti-Israel and it's genocide, which 100%, and we all should be. And then with a lot of these sort of bigger influencers or Twitter accounts, it becomes very much like Jews control everything. They've been doing this for millennia. It becomes that sort of thing where you're like, okay, you're not my pro-Palestinian people. You're a different group.
Well, absolutely, and that exists on the left by some people who I could even name, who I've done shows with before.
Yeah. Same.
Who will come out and say something that's really like, ooh,
yeah.
Who are you trying to appeal? Like, is that what you really think? If that's the case,
Yeah.
it's bad. But also, if you're just appealing to more of a right wing audience with this message, that's bad. You know,
Yeah.
so like,
It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly, which is why it is so important to know truly what you're standing for and what you're standing against, and not just putting your finger to the wind and blowing with it. Because it's very easy for me to differentiate, like, you're an anti-Semite, you are an anti-Semite Zionist Jewish person who hates me, and like, you know, but like, it's very clear, because once you understand which forces they're actually sort of going along with, it's very clear who the true allies are.
I agree.
And it's unfortunate. Speaking of, so we're going to do a little bit of a bob and weave, because this is a shorter show and we just have like a lot of sort of silly, fun, and disgusting videos to show. This was insane. Katie Miller was on a panel. So this is Stephen Miller's bride, lovely bride. Former White House spokesperson. She was in some comms with them, and then she left with Elon at some point, and there was like insinuations that maybe she was whatever. Anyway, she had an official role at one point. Now she has a podcast, and she's on Piers Morgan with this panel with Cenk Uygur, Jill Michaels, and Omar Badad, I think is his name. And she loses her mind.
Why is it that every time someone wants to criticize Mamdani, it immediately comes back to the Jews and the anti-Israel movement, instead of actually talking about his viewpoints, which is that
nobody said Jews. You just said it. You always do that. We say Israel, you say Jews. We say Israel is a government. Please don't make it about Jewish Americans. And you come back and go, you have to make it about Jewish Americans. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Is Israel a Jewish state? Yes or no?
Yeah. First of all, okay, so Saudi Arabia is a Muslim state, and you can criticize it all day long, all day long. There's no special protection
because
for
what you're doing is you're decoding language
that
to
calls themselves
American
a Jewish state or a
and
Muslim
to say that
state.
we should not be here and we should not be in existence, and that you would be happy for other people like Mamdani to use
it. I want Israel to be safe.
Nothing of the sort.
Nonsense. You're totally lying. It's very normal for a Miller to be completely and utterly lying.
Quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from people like you against my husband, against my family, and my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your children into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow racist and bigoted attacks against one of your commentators just for the sake that he will not
hang on.
speaking.
Casey, to be clear, he inserted
a line that says the Miller's lie. Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish? Come on, Piers, where are you?
What?
Where are you standing?
God, you're so
Casey,
pathetic.
if I can speak.
Everything's your shield.
If I can speak, listen.
Fire him, cancel him, America. Oh my God, Israel's feelings have been hurt. Why don't you work for this country?
All right, can we try and get
this country?
Yeah, you are a guest on my show, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and I like you coming on the show.
And I'm saying that two other guests on your show are welcome to participate in these anti-Semitic attacks that is so permeating on CNN and MSNBC.
This is so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I have to jump in here. Somebody criticizing you personally is not an anti-Semitic attack. If somebody says that you are lying, that is not an attack on Jews. That is an attack on you. And just stop hiding behind identity. This is all the snowflake behavior that the right is supposedly criticizing the left for, that you're simply repeating here. Yes, Stephen Miller is a destructive force in American society. That is not an attack on Jews. That is no reference to his identity. This is an attack on him individually, and just deal with the merits of this case.
Okay, so that was pretty great. I know, again, I know yesterday we showed an Anna Kasparian thing, and we have a ton of problems with her, but in that moment, she was saying the right stuff. Same with Cenk Uygur. And, much like Bernie, although I appreciate Bernie way more than I appreciate the Young Turks, but they were, 20 years ago, they were my first indie subscribing YouTube show that I was subscribing to. So there were anyway.
They were a gateway drug to progressivism,
Yeah.
and they were more progressive then than they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's an infusion of cash that they took might have something to do with that.
Yep.
But regardless of that, for them to let Cenk on and let him, the whole panel was against her because she was flatly wrong. So good. Go.
Why
do
is
it.
Jillian Michaels, is that her name? Wasn't she like a trainer? What's she doing on a political? I don't know. Whatever.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know.
She must just be a right-wing conservative. I don't know.
Is she?
I think she's a lesbian woman who is also right-wing. So it's like the perfect, it's like having, like a black Republican. They love things like that because they get
Is she Jewish? Maybe that's part of it too?
Yeah, she might be. Why are you saying that? No, I'm totally joking. I'm joking. Okay, so wait, but then this is only 10 seconds. But then Katie Miller loses her shit, and it's hard to make out what she says. But she basically threatens to deport Cenk Uyghur, who's a naturalized U.S.
Go.
Hold on. So
you better
what
check your
happened in the
citizenship
Holocaust
application
and
and hope everything was legally
all the
and correct.
pogroms were disgusting.
Just like Ilhan
That
Omar
doesn't
coming
mean
in.
that Israel.
You better check your citizenship application and hope that everything was done properly, or you'll be just like Ilhan Omar, who also did everything properly. And basically, we're going to eject you from the country for wrong thing.
Yeah, the unchecked power these assholes think they have is just ridiculous. And to not get more blowback from the Republican Party against them just shows that a lot of the Republican Party is flat out okay with this racist bullshit. I mean, that's,
Yeah,
we've known that, but I'm just saying, more than I would think is just flat out racist to tolerate this at this point.
They are flat out racist, which I feel like probably we've all known forever. They're also flat out hypocrites because they were the ones talking about snowflakes and campuses where everybody had to feel safe. And now they're coming to U.S. citizens' homes and saying, you posted something on social media. They arrested some guy, spent a month, a U.S. citizen spent a month in jail. I can't remember his name. I need to pull this. I'd already pulled 100 graphics. But for a very subtle anti-Charlie Kirk post on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, is basically what he said right after a mass shooting at a school. And he said, well, there are going to be some horrible deaths, but it's worth it to protect the Second Amendment. And the guy was something like, it's worth it. Something like that. Fair. It's not threatening. He arrested in jail for 30 days. And now they've released him with no charges.
I'm not saying I want to be arrested and be in jail for 30 days because I would lose my mind in prison the claustrophobia part of it would be the one.
And the
part that gets me.
How many times do you want to get COVID?
The germs, I don't care. But just
COVID,
being, yes. COVID and being locked in
anywhere without a mask. That terrifies me, actually.
Same. But anyway, where I'm going with this is the lawsuit, the money I would get from you having done that to me, I am going to sue the piss out of the government and get a shit ton of money. And I have the resources with legal connections, since my mom was a judge, to do that. So come at me, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the COVID situation and being indoors freaks me out. But I agree. I hope everybody who has these unlawful, unconstitutional detainments, arrests. Thank you, Sam. I didn't mean to ignore you. Just wanted to show you. If it's 5 o'clock, I'm always drinking, even if I have the stomach flu. It's a must. So yes.
But speaking of COVID, I mask indoors all the time. Last weekend I was working at a lady's house. I started out doing electrical, but then she's like, she needs a handyman, so I'm fixing her plumbing. I built her a fence. I working on her heating and air conditioning, everything, right? Right. But it's just her. She doesn't even go out much, Right. And I still went in her house and wear a mask because guess what? She just messaged me yesterday. I was supposed to come this weekend. She's like, I'm really sick, so can we not do it this weekend? And that's one person that doesn't go out. So this is why I am diligent about masking still.
I'll tell you, I went to the grocery store today, and for the first time in months, I saw dozens of people masked. And
I'm seeing more too.
Yeah, but it's weird because I'm like, is it now? I'm one of those people. I'm like, is it because they're sick or because they're finally like catching up to the truth? I have no idea what the because I don't see.
I think it's I think it's a mix of more people have waves of this, and they're like, I don't want to mask, but like, you know, like our kids sick all the time or whatever, and then the economic impact of COVID has affected these people more, and they're closer to like one bill being detrimental to the whole family. So it's like everything is getting worse, and if it's worse, you can't afford like a week's missed pay is really bad for a lot of people, which is why you see a lot more of the frontline workers in grocery stores and things,
even
places
more than
like that.
Elderly people. It's it's the people who are the workers at those stores. If there's only one person, it's always that. Reflect the Sun. Thank you so much. Cheers to you and all of your memberships. Cheers to Gwen. Thank you. Cheers to Zainab, who just wrote a phenomenal article. We need to have you on to talk about it, and the 50 state strategy that was abandoned by greedy corporate Dems. That's a really good article. If you get a chance, everybody should go check that out. Zainab.
Yeah, we should talk about that with Zainab, but basically, I mean, it puts to rest this idea that it's just, they blew it with the strategy. No, their strategy was to abandon the states.
And it also, like, what I love about it, and I think it's true, and it's, it's like what my hope is, and I do think it's borne out, is that politics is persuasion, and people are persuadable, and states that now Democrats have totally written off as unwinnable. Like, I just don't believe that. Like, why be in politics if you think people are unpersuadable and that they don't deserve your attention? Like, it's just gross, but it's a really good article. We would love to talk to you about.
Yeah. And amid all these fights for redistricting, why don't you start fighting for some of these districts? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
instead of actually fight for the votes.
Yeah. But while we're talking about, the blatant hypocrisy of the Republicans, they just gave up their fight to win Prop 50. They stopped spending money on it in California because they're not going to win. And they look like hypocrites every time they come out and say, you can't do this redistricting. And it's a response to your own party. So, like, I know people have different opinions, but I support the California Prop 50.
Yeah.
I feel like, as much as the Democrats aren't my side, you can't let the evil side run away with it by changing the laws. And then, we don't want Trump 2028. I mean, so, yeah. But they stopped fighting. They said, we can't win this fucking thing.
Let's just confirm all these judges and go home for vacation. What could happen? What's the worst that could happen?
The Democrats they're fine with most of the Republicans anyway, because they don't do shit.
100%. M Sparks, thank you so much. Salute.
Cheers.
Salute. Cheers. Thank you.
And Reflect and Zana, everybody.
All of you
cheers.
guys. Yeah,
Much
really,
appreciated.
truly. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. Thank you. Splash Kinberger says Jillian was host of a political talk show with some other ladies, including Anna, called Her Take. Oh, interesting. I gotta say, I'm sort of glad I missed it because I don't care about it.
Oh no, we missed it. Was she a right winger? I mean, she had to be a right winger. Right?
Yeah, I know she is on the right now.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I don't know how she is, how she was initially, but yes. Okay, and just because we're in the super chats right now, thank you, Justin.
Prost. That's just, yeah. Anytime there's a super chat, I mean, if you want me to drink a lot, I'll drink more.
Ooh, that could be a good fundraising. We're actually talking about there's so many great mutual aid and community organizing groups that we wanted to call attention to if we did a fundraiser and maybe did some fun thing like a shot for every. I don't know if I could do that, but something fun for fundraising for some of these groups that are really doing heroic work. So
how about an ounce of beer for every $1?
An ounce?
That could get ugly too.
Oh.
But I mean, it's not,
I could do, okay, so wait, what's my bottle of
So
wine?
wait, $20 would be 20 ounces. That's a lot. Yeah, that could be a lot, but
I mean,
we'll work something out.
Definitely drink a bottle of wine every night. So, but then I have to say, I don't want to be hypocritical because whenever people are like raising money, like, pay me to do a marathon and it will go someplace, I'm always kind of like, just give the money to the people. Why do you need to? But anyway.
Right. I think I egged Justin on, and I apologize for doing that. That was I suckered you into giving me $2.
I like it.
$2. Cheers. Much appreciated.
Cheers, Justin. Thank you. And let's watch those 2 ounces go down straight. Okay. So just so we can kind of finish up we won't finish it up because I know we have a show on Sunday, which will be the last show before the Tuesday mayoral election. But I do think that the difference between Cuomo's last appeal to the voters and Zoran's last appeal is really instructive about the politics of the Democratic establishment and the left. Wherever Zoran, I always have to do the caveat. Yes, we know, not perfect. He will disappoint, yada, yada. He's bringing a lot of hope and some concrete policy ideas and a leftist agenda and point of view. Wherever he lands, it's important that point of view is out there, right?
Yeah, and also, if you prove that a progressive mayor can get shit done regardless of the party being against him, think about all the other progressive mayors we can get behind.
Yeah. Yep. Stop running Amy McGrath and all the other CIA spooks who are like Trump light Democrats who lose every time. Like Spamberger? She's running for Virginia. I mean, it all makes me nauseous. Okay, so here is Cuomo's super inspiring ad.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. Right here on New York State Capitol Hill.
What the f***?
What's that?
I'm a bill.
What's a bill?
You don't know what a bill is? Aren't you an assemblyman?
Yeah, but I don't do much. I missed over half the votes, and according to ChatGPT, I might have the lowest attendance record in history.
It's true.
Oh, wait a sec. You mean bill like money bills? Ew, I hate those things.
Wait, aren't you a socialist? That's a lot of dough.
Well, I'm rich because I interned for my mom right before this job. My mom is rich, so I interned for her, then used more of her money to be a failed rapper who sang about loving literal terrorists.
Well, you must know what a bill is, because look, your name is on 3 that became law.
Ha! No way! I passed 3 bills in 5 years? I'm totally qualified to run the biggest city in America.
You've been here 5 years and only passed 3 bills? Well, New York City's over 300 years old. I'm sure you wouldn't be the least qualified mayor.
After doing a comparison of Mamdani's prior job experience to all 110 mayors of New York City, going back to 1665, I can conclude he would be the least qualified mayor to ever come into office.
It's true. Try it with your own ChatGPT at home, kids.
Oh my God! You're going to destroy the Big Apple. Oh no!
I'm just a shell. I'm just a shell. I'm gonna destroy the Big Apple.
Oh God, please don't hate me.
Paid for by Cuomo for NYC.
Okay, first of all, he's such an asshole. What's he a shill for exactly? Community?
Yeah.
What?
I'm shilling for the people, the poor people, the middle class people. I don't know. It's honestly the best thing that Cuomo's ever put out, and it's still not helping his cause.
And then to be like, oh, ChatGPT, that's what the kids are doing. Everybody fucking hates AI. We are vehemently anti.
Well, yeah. I mean, that stood out right away to me because first off, who's controlling the AI narrative, right? So the tech bros that want to fucking get rich off Trump and stopping socialists and promoting capitalism are controlling the narrative of that. So if we hit this phase where people are like, well, the truth is ChatGPT, whatever they say, like, dude, ChatGPT doesn't know fuck all. It's bad. And like all these are bad.
The automated city desk AI response that we get anytime we post anything about him, like, what? He's just a pathetic shell of a man. Just pathetic.
Yeah, according to the AI we've programmed, it's all Cuomo. He's the least educated or least experienced mayor on earth ever. Okay, who buys that?
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, truly, Zainab, that would be very funny. Actually, we should just show that clip on a loop. And I do not mix. Actually, that's not true. Every once in a while, I mix vodka. I mean, not in my wine, but like
she pours vodka in her wine. That's what we're dealing with, folks.
Yes. Okay. There was one point, and I wish, like, it was really fun. And if someday when our socialist show goes big time, and we're doing this at a bar together, and we can actually like order drinks. But we were for a while trying to do a new drink every week when we had just one show a week. And there was one we did that was so good. I loved it. My version of it was vodka, Crystal Light lemonade, and red wine. It was like the best sangria I'd ever had.
Nice. My favorite show when we were doing the booze was the Borg. When I got to have a milk jug full of blue liquid, I'm just chugging Borg during the show. That felt like right up our. I did. I drank a lot of Borg that night.
It was like a gallon.
No, I bought the size down, whatever that is. The tall milk bottle, but a lot of Borg.
That was a Herculean.
But just to talk politics and then just chug the Borg.
That was awesome.
It felt so right.
That was awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Steve Breedlove, I would love to debate you on all your points, but Prop 50 is theater and channels energy into little more than a vote of confidence for Newsom. I mean, I
get it.
That also, like,
Yeah, I get that view too. I just think you've got a strategic plan from the White House that's abusing their powers and laws left and right, and to not fight back against that on some level if you're the opposing party, you could give up hundreds of seats. Like, it's just
yeah.
I don't know.
I agree, but also,
I know you need a federal law to control the districting, but that's
there's so many federal laws and regulations that if Democrats actually cared about democracy, saving democracy, they would implement or fight for, and of course they don't. So we're about to take your off. Thank you. Cheers for the super chat.
Cheers.
Thank you. David Sirota makes a really good point about one of the great things about the New York Democratic primary or their elections is that they do have matching funding. They have statewide or citywide funding, municipal funding. I have to look into it exactly, but because of that funding, Zoran's, like, whatever he got from his initial push is then matched by municipal funding, which helps people who are not multi-hundred millionaires like Cuomo actually mount a real campaign. And also then there are limits on spending, although all the billionaires kicked in and gave Cuomo a lot of money. Obviously, at some point it has to be, at some point it's not about the money, it's about the message and the person and the integrity and all of that, the ideology.
Yeah.
But we can't get people, working class people, and I feel like everything I say has to come with like 4 different qualifiers. But anyway, I know his parents are like, a professor is not exactly like not working class, but okay, bourgeois, whatever. And his mother, who's a filmmaker, but like they're not 100 millionaires, right? So he needed that match. Those matching funds would actually really help small d democracy, and we should
Right.
be looking for that for sure.
Well, and the value in if you want to help his campaign, it's the door knockers. It's that's
Canvassing.
so it's the volunteers. It's not the money. It's the volunteers is what they need, and they have many. I mean, that's the whole game. Sitting is not going to be a thing ever. I'm never going to sit to pee. I would not marry someone if that was their deal breaker. I would just say no. We are too.
I'm sorry. This is where I always
We are
get
too-
every man. I am sure there are times you are sitting and you pee. And maybe the initial incentive to go to the restroom wasn't to pee, it was something else. But I bet that in the middle of doing something else, you don't quick stand up.
No, I'm not going to say the word pinch, but I did. I will stand up and finish it there, and then sit back down, just out of spite from now on.
Okay, why? What is that? What is the thing? We should get into this another time because we have so much to get to.
I mean, we have so little joy in life. Can I just pee and pretend I'm a kid and splash around? That's the joy of it.
I guess women will never know that joy of standing to pee. What?
Come on, you're wrong. I bought my girlfriend a she-pee at one point.
I mean,
there are she-pees.
As a baseball mom who's been at many disgusting parks where there's yeah, I get it, but I feel like if we fixed this issue from a very young age, we might solve toxic masculinity.
Okay, what if we allowed men and women to pee freely in the urinals, and there were she-pees at games, and women just all had she-pees, and they could just go in the urinals and not wait in that long line? You'd have to see men's wieners, though. That's the downside, I guess.
I mean, I don't care. That's actually kind of fun. But I just don't understand what feels so emasculating about sitting to pee, and also what that means somewhere in the psyche that when you're like, oh wow, that's a whole group of people who are so weak that you sit to pee.
No, it's just time-wise, man. You know how much faster it is? You just quick pee. Okay. I'm gonna drop trow and sit and pee and feel very.
When you're taking a dump, you will stop it, stand up, turn around to pee. So if you're thinking
just to spite you.
All right.
From now on, I'm FaceTiming you when I do it too. It's
okay.
From the neck up, or waist up, or something.
Bring it. Okay.
All right.
See the difference. Zoran's ad at the end.
In the race for New York City mayor, there's a candidate of the past defined by corruption, willing to bend to Donald Trump's will. But it doesn't have to be that way. Zoran Mamdani will build a better future for all New Yorkers. Zoran has a plan to make New York City affordable by freezing the rent for rent-stabilized tenants, creating fast and free buses, delivering cheaper groceries, universal child care. That's why on November 4th, vote for Zoran Mamdani, because this is our city.
Paid for by Zoran for NYC.
It's a good close.
Okay. What's your thought? This is now my third time watching it, and I'm actually sorry because I was pre-gaming. Why the Law and Order thing actually bums me out. It bums me out, the propaganda, the kind of underlying thing, even though I do think it's a better ad. It's not negative against, it's a more affirmative ad, but also I don't love that. What do you think?
I mean, I was barely paying attention, if I'm going to be honest, but look, you close on safe stuff that pulls you more towards the other side a little bit, if anything. Yeah. So it's old school politics and old school consultants, and they're just playing it safe down the stretch.
Yeah. I don't.
It's not good, but
and at first I was like, "Look, it's affirmative," and then I was like, "Fucking Law and Order." Wait, what? And then I forget, Dick Wolf, who's a propaganda master. It's kind of disgusting. So now I'm kind of bummed. But anyway, whatever. At least it's not some. I don't know, man. My costume was supposed to be happy from the outside in because I'm clearly not happy on the inside, and then I took off my hat, so I don't know.
You lost your joy. Bring your sparkle back, Lila.
Smart girl.
Did I bum you out with all the pee talk? I was just thinking about it, and I don't want to go extreme yet, but if you keep this talk up, I'm going to poop standing up.
Then you're going to be that meme with the guy who's like,
I will be that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going with the Democrats because there's a couple other things I think are hilarious. So last week we saw Kamala on a BBC or British show. It might not have been BBC actually. Sit down with this Sarah Ferguson where she talks about how Biden didn't have, like, he wasn't able to run the marathon of campaigning, but he still would have been a really good president. But there's a difference between, and she was sort of pushed on that. That woman, Sarah Ferguson, just released a clip that shows that Kamala's staffer pulled her out at when that started spiraling out of control. So that's kind of interesting that they reveal that.
Yeah. Do we have that?
Yes.
Oh, let's roll
We'll
that.
come back to the book and the purpose of the book. So
This is the last question. We're at time. We gotta go. Sorry.
yeah. Well, that's almost a first, not an absolute first, but to have a member of staff of the former Vice President of the United States actually speak up during the interview to say that we were going too long. I didn't expect that. But coming back to the interview itself, it seems to me at its very heart, there is a reluctance on the part of Kamala Harris to actually spell out and talk about the issues that Joe Biden had as president. Was it Joe Biden's decision, his failure to recognize his own frailties in that position that put you in the position that made it almost impossible to win that race?
He was not frail as president of the United States.
But he had frailties. We all saw the debate. I'm just wondering, is there a reason why you won't go to that prolonged frailty question? Now, we saw the debate. We saw the difficulty he had marshalling his thoughts.
I have answered that question. I do not believe
that I think it's just hard watching the debate to see how there could not be a problem long term with someone who can't marshal their thoughts. I'm not saying his acuity wasn't present.
I talked about that in the book.
It's in the book, but it seems to me she doesn't want to say it on camera. I asked her that. She denied it, but I think there is still a reluctance there to criticize Joe Biden, which makes her current pivot a really difficult one because she's Joe Biden's vice president. It seems she's still not prepared to completely condemn him, but she's got to be a character in her own right without Joe Biden attached in order to have a chance to run again. So that, before I came in, that was the heart of the interview, and it turned out to be the heart of the interview.
Yes.
Okay, so disaster. That was a week ago. Disaster, right?
Disaster. And for the interviewer to come out and say, let's milk this some more, more of Kamala hatred. I mean, valid. She's not hating her outright. She's saying what's true. She writes about it in her book a little bit, but she doesn't want to get attention for it publicly.
Also, her whole thing, she's doing a promo for her book tour. So to not discuss, she's like, it's in the book. It's in the book. Go buy my book. You're not going to have a discussion. It's just in my book. It was a hostile way to talk to your interviewer. Right?
Yeah, there is no world where I'm going to buy her book, even to diss her book.
Yeah.
Unless it's hilarious to read because it's so awful, maybe. But then you're giving her a couple bucks, which feels like the worst thing on earth.
Yeah.
If I see someone in public reading it unironically, I might steal it from them. Maybe that would be the right thing to do.
Okay. So she and her staff, who understood that this was going horribly awry for her, now because Dems are like, get on the podcast. So she knows that that's gone awful. Now she's on Jon Stewart's podcast. Handles it totally differently. Watch the finesse with which she deals with this question that is a recurring question for her at this point.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. There's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What's the distinction?
Well, being a candidate for president of the United States is about being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace, having tomatoes thrown at you every step you take.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's more than a notion.
Get involved in public service, ladies and gentlemen.
And to be the seated president, the sitting president, while doing that, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think it's a hard case to make for people that he didn't have the stamina to run, but he had the stamina to govern. Because I think most people view the presidency as a marathon run at a sprint with tomatoes being thrown at you in terms of governance.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that you can say, oh, it's running for president is taxing, but then you win and you can be lazy like I've been. You know, that's how it reads, kind of like if you know Kamala's history, at least that's how it reads to me when she says that. She's like, the hardest part is campaigning. After that, cakewalk.
Honestly, can you, that's also devastating. That she thinks that it's like the hardest thing is auditioning for the job, but being the leader of the free world, you got a lot of staff and stuff.
And even if that's your message, the way she says it is terrible. This is why she's a terrible politician. The message should be, well, there's two jobs. He's doing two jobs at the same time. He's the president and campaigning. Those are two separate jobs. That's adding more. That's so much more difficult.
100%.
But nobody can even bring her to that position because nobody likes her. So the consultants don't even want to help her.
Yep.
If we're being honest.
Seriously, you solved the problem for her. I hope she's watching the show. Come on, Punch Up Pod. Get our bump.
Get the pup bump. All these center seat Democrats who are listening to consultants, and you need to get out there and talk to lefties. Come on our show.
I mean, and again, I know everybody knows this, but that is why, the Zoran thing, the Omar Fata, the Graham Plattner, as many issues as we have expressed that we might have for all these people, it is to shut up the consultants and show them that the left is the only way to deal with fascists. They know that. They don't care. But it's more just as a reaffirmation because the left is always judged on the one shot they ever get. And if it fails, it's like, see, that's why socialism loses. Look at the global South. They'll leave out the whole imperialism and, color wars and coups that we do. It's just socialism. So, a little bit in these moments, it's why I tack so much in favor of these people who I fully expect will disappoint us. Should we spin before we move on?
Yeah, let's spin that beautiful wheel.
Is that even, right?
Come on.
Always spin.
Don't get me started on the peeing thing again, though. That just took us
I do,
way
but I
off
love
course.
that that's the thing. That's actually, I feel like politically, there's almost no space between us. This is the one issue where we come to blows. I love it.
It's so important.
It is important.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. Oh, that feels very
All right.
Halloween-y, right?
We got some more Halloween dogs. This is the New York City Dog Parade.
And one day, I'm gonna have eyes as blue as the summer sky.
Oh, strike!
Strike came by. He's a dog. She's a dog hater. So here we go. Oops.
Very cute. That's very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm just reading the some of the comments. That's okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of Halloween being favorite holidays. That's Josh's favorite holiday. He loves it so much.
I think it's mine too.
Really?
As much as I kind of hate how now that I'm an electrician, I'm in Home Depot all the time.
Yeah.
And they started hyping up Halloween like 2 months ago.
It's
just
crazy.
That part of it is crazy. But just that it's the joy for kids dressing up, and like Halloween parties were always fun. I mean, everyone's hooking up at Halloween parties. It's the spiciest.
Yeah.
It's the spiciest of the parties.
Drink a lot, dress naughty, and have fun.
Right.
Welcome, Checkpoint Charlie.
Checkpoint
I've
Charlie.
had 2 glasses of wine, so cheers. We are friends of both of those podcasts. Love them, and welcome to ours. All right, we have. I mean, I don't know. Do we go AI or do we go Israel or do we go the shutdown? There's so much to talk about, and this is our in between show. So, what's your feeling? I have a feeling.
I think we got to go ice. We got to go ice.
Okay. Ice?
Yeah, let's hit the ice stuff. Yeah, I feel like we all know Israel, just in case we don't get to Israel. The thing about Israel is there's no ceasefire. This is all cover for them to just keep expanding their project.
Yep.
Trump has every interest to hide what's really happening there because he wants to have brokered a ceasefire, and he wants to get rich off exploiting the Palestinians himself.
Yep.
And our media, they have no interest in reporting this either way either, because, it's just not.
Because they've embedded, sorry. As a Jew, I know Zionists hate when Jews say this, but as a Jew, they have embedded Zionists into every aspect of our corporate legacy media. They cover all of it, and there's actually a boycott going on. I think 300 writers are boycotting New York Times op-ed because they have been, for decades, but especially since October 7th, ginning up complacency and condoning of a genocide. It is appalling. They should all be sent to The Hague. And I really hope that happens.
Sorry.
But let's just move to ICE, which, by the way, is modeling itself in many ways after the IDF, we all know. This just came out 2 days ago, I think. Eric Tars from the National Homelessness Law Center was talking about, and we've talked about this a lot, it's a synthesis of so many of the different issues, right? Like, you pay people poverty wages. We don't have health care. People are saddled with overwhelming debt. They become homeless. Then you criminalize homelessness. You're giving money to private prisons. You need to fill those prisons up. There's the pretense that it's going to be, it's just the awful illegals. Meanwhile, they're going parents of 4 who are doing everything by the book, except maybe they didn't fill out one thing properly on their sheet, but they are working, they are trying, they're going to school, they're going to their appointments with the government to try to get their green card.
They're not in hiding. They're trying to follow whatever you say, I'll do it.
They're not these horrific rapist, terror, narco terrorists that this lie has done. And there is a group of people that is pacified by that. And it's like, yeah, that's right. America first, get them all out. But what they don't understand is those camps, even though in this time they are mostly being used for people who are here legally or illegally, but aren't massive criminals, those are actually intended for the rest of us eventually. Those huge camps are for the people who are criminalized, whether it's because you are a leftist, because you're anti-capitalist, because you're anti-genocide, because you are pro-environment, because you did a silly meme about Charlie Kirk, whatever it is, because capitalism relies on cheap or slave labor. And that is where we are headed. So these alligator Alcatraz, these mega encampments, when they criminalize homelessness, thanks Gavin Newsom, most progressive leader of the fifth biggest economy in the world, that is, they're coming for all of us. They're coming for all of us. So this is Eric Tarr's, the director of the National Homelessness Law Center, talking about these ICE facilities.
They want to put up more of these alligator Alcatraz style mega tent sprung structure type facilities. They've got the kind of pilot project for that in Utah, where the governor has said, we are going to completely support and implement Trump's executive order. And just last week, their homelessness board, which was created by some Cicero legislation, they passed a plan for a 1,300 person megatent camp 7 miles outside of downtown in the middle of nowhere, no public transportation. 300 beds are going to be involuntarily committed, locked facilities. Another set of beds are going to be no voluntary entry or exit. It's going to be where you get sent for jail diversion. And then the rest of the beds, even though theoretically you could come and go, they're going to be actively enforcing anti-camping, anti-loitering, all these other laws. The thing that scares me the most is that they say some of these units are going to be work-conditioned housing, which to me means forced labor. And we've seen some of these other bills introduced at the state level that also have this forced labor element to them in Louisiana and West Virginia. To my eyes, I see them kicking out all the undocumented, low-paid labor from the country.
Gotta make up for it somewhere.
Gotta make up for it somewhere.
I mean, we're back in, Charles Dickens.
We are, and they're systematically getting us there. They're defunding all these programs that help poor people, and it's eugenics basically. They're implementing that right now.
And it really sucks. And I know we say this all the time, we're all Palestinians, because even if you don't have the ability to have empathy for people who are being genocided by, these Nazi Israelis and with the help of the UK and the US, if you aren't able to have sympathy for that, maybe we can appeal to you knowing that that's the laboratory for everything they're going to bring here as soon as it's possible, which is happening at a way faster pace than I think many of us assumed it would happen.
Absolutely. And when you look to California, when you look at progressive, uber progressive Gavin Newsom okaying criminalizing homelessness, that's the path we're on. You should be fighting that with every ounce of your body if you're a progressive.
Yep. So that's mega camps, mega work camps. We have got, this is crazy. Where is that Miller? Fuck. Yeah. Saying that officers have total immunity, which is a lie anyway. I want all these people to see the wall so bad. Is it ever going to happen? But he's telling all of the people they're sending in to 50 states to terrify and terrorize and destroy that they have immunity.
But what we need to reassure a couple points. To all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice.
It's not how the law works at all.
Not at all.
There is no federal immunity for ICE agents. That's not a thing.
but they're breaking a lot of laws, and if there's no process for accountability or enforcement, they just keep breaking things and moving forward. It's horrifying. Like, they're really like, we would invade countries for this kind of stuff, right?
Right. And I think the real issue is, the Democrats fall back on the courts. We're going to let the courts run these. You need to have a conflict that forces something beyond the courts, because the courts operate slowly. When you appeal these cases high enough before the Supreme Court, there will be a federal court that just lets it stay in place until the Supreme Court decides it. So it postpones all this stuff for a year, basically. And that's what's happening. We're seeing that happen left and right. They're like, well, even the Supreme Court will say, well, we kind of think this is wrong, but let's overturn the injunction and we'll decide this case in 6 months or something. That's kind of where they're at. So we can't wait on the courts. The courts are not going to say it. They've taken over the courts.
Thanks.
Capitalist interests run the courts.
Yep. Yeah. So, they're saying, well, Kristi Noem was asked about if they are targeting U.S. citizens or if U.S. citizens have been arrested. So just so we have it on record before we then show why she's such a disgusting liar.
I can't hear you. There's no American citizens have been arrested or detained. We focus on those that are here illegally, and anything that you would hear or report that would be different than that is simply not true and false reporting. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
About to show 6 videos of U.S. citizens who have been attacked, detained, and arrested by these Nazi Gestapo thugs who cannot even be bothered to get out of their jeans and wear a uniform. Again, I hate that I always come back to that, but they just look like they could be anybody. There's no uniform. There's no, they're, spraining their ACLs or tearing their ACLs. They can't chase a guy on a bike with a sandwich. They are the most monstrous amongst us, and they're just they're not in any sort of power, and yet they are following these.
And it's by design. They want to be villains. They want to be in control. They want people to be scared to react. They want you to be worried about your Charlie Kirk tweet.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my God. Anthony Aguilar, we adore you. That's I'm going to start crying. You're doing such amazing work. We show your videos all the time. You have been traveling the country. Thank you. Worksite raids, arrests without criminal charges or convictions. They want us to believe war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. We are all Palestinians, boots on our necks. We must rise up or we will all fail. Sir, you are
amen to that.
One of the best.
Many thanks. You're wonderful. You're one of my favorite guests ever. You're so eloquent, and what you're doing is so important that we were honored just to have you here.
Absolutely. You. I am so touched by this. Thank you. Thank you. So speaking of U.S. citizen vets who are being completely, attacked disgustingly by our government. This is George Rittis. I don't know which city he's from. I forget now, but he is talking about how he was held in solitary. Again, this shouldn't happen to anybody, but U.S. citizen and a veteran of the U.S. military.
They put me on suicide watch, and they put me in this. They put me in this cell. I'm naked in a hospital dress and just a concrete bed with a mattress, a thin mattress, and they leave the light on 24/7. There's a glass door. An officer's just always standing, sitting out there. The psychiatric nurse comes and checks on me once a day. And so from Friday morning to Sunday afternoon when I'm released, I'm literally in that cell, naked, just in that room.
What the fuck?
With the light on 24/7.
How is this real? Like, this is a nightmare. I mean, like, my blood is boiling right now, and I knew that it was bad. I didn't realize how bad it was. That's fucking insane. Like, that's something from like a TV show. Like, you're in Guantanamo or something. How is that possible that happened?
I'm literally wondering the same thing. I was just the entire time I was in there, I was just hoping like I would just want to see my kids again. Like, literally, that's the only thing that matters. Like, I literally just want to see my kids. Like just that whole like time, that was the only thing on my mind. Just
how old are your kids?
My daughter had just turned 3, and her birthday party was that Saturday that I was in there.
And what did your family know where you were? Like,
all they knew was that I was arrested by ICE, and that was it. They didn't know where they took me. They didn't know where I was. They called all these agencies, the sheriff's office in Ventura, Camarillo, like Oxnard. They called the jail, and they gave them nothing. They never said where I was. They just said that they don't associate with anyone. And that was it. They just kept giving them the runaround.
So obviously California, Camarillo, and that's near me, sort of down here in Southern California.
Yeah, that's in the most liberal state in the nation right here. That's happening.
Let's get
so
that.
Imagine the fascism happening in red states against brown people.
Horrifying. So obviously right now the Trump administration is targeting the blue states, with so little pushback that nothing matters. And as we've said, like, just waiting for the courts to do anything people are going to be arrested, deported. I mean, thousands of people are missing now because just like Israel, they are not allowed to speak to lawyers. They are transferred without anybody knowing where they are. They're taken away from the system, the court system, the legal system that's local. Some of them are being deported to other countries they're not from. And again,
Well, the utter lack of due process is as un-American as it gets. Like, if you want to talk about losing your democracy, ICE is the number one sign that we have no democracy. We don't have due process anymore. And it matters just as much that, someone who is here undocumented gets deported in this way. But the fact that you can be a citizen in the U.S. and just walk out your door and get deported and nobody knows where you are for a month and you're in horrible torture-like conditions, that could happen to any one of us. And believe me, if you're on the left, it's more likely to happen to you because you are protesting the lack of our democracy somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, ICE has a contract with Palantir and all these AI data mining infrastructures where they are culling our social media posts for pre-crime or for anything that's like raises a flag.
Yeah, and the government has bought all this technology that allows anyone to get on your phone, read your text messages, know your location, everything. Turn on your camera without you knowing it. Turn on your microphone on your phone without you knowing it.
Yep.
And we've lost any semblance of like, oh, go get a warrant for that stuff. That's long gone under the cover of like, you could be a terrorist, therefore we don't need a warrant. We don't need due process anymore.
People are shooting into cars of American citizens. Again, like I keep saying that for people.
You don't have to qualify. We get it.
But shooting into people's cars, like just randomly pulling them over, trying to run them over. Okay, so that was sorry, I need my greeters. Okay, this is in Baltimore. This is insane. Watch this.
No, all right.
Yeah, what's the reason to stop me? You ain't even got no reason to stopping them, bro. They
Yo, walk off, Trey. Hit the alley, bro. Go ahead, Trey. Walk off, bro. He beating. He ain't even got no reason to stop him. Hey, yo, what the fuck? You gonna hit him with the car? Yo, what the fuck, bro? Yo, hell no, yo. Hey, yo. Come back this way, yo. Yo, beating, bro. That's his dumb ass. Dumb ass. Fucking dummy. Dumb ass, you dumb as shit. You dumb as shit. You crashing and all that. You really crashing out, bro. Go ahead, dumbass. Really crashing out, bro. You crashed his car and all that, bro. Don't really try to hit my mans, bro. What the fuck? Don't really try to hit, bro, with the car and all that. Oh, hell no.
You know, Zainab just wrote, like, imagine what was happening before people could record these things. Of course, now they're trying to make it illegal. They're coming up to journalists, but they're also coming up to just citizens who are holding up a phone, trying to record the violations of our constitutional rights that they are impeding upon, saying we can arrest you for this. You can be arrested for a post. And like, then what do? They are armed to the gills. They have immunity in their minds from Stephen Miller. Whatever might happen in the future, that's how they are proceeding.
Yeah, when you're hearing from the top, don't worry, you guys, we got your back. And you know, we're Trump is threatening to use the insurrection clause to go after domestic terrorists, right? Meanwhile, he just pardoned all the insurrectionists. Yep. So, you know, it goes hand in hand. Like, we're the bad guys because we're on the left on this stuff, and we're going to weaponize everything we can against you. And it's just, and imagine, you know, the next phase of this is like, yeah, you got footage of our cop doing this thing, but prove it's not AI.
Well, that, you know, and I know we only have a few more minutes, but because we're in the middle of this government shutdown where the pain is going to be so deep. First of all, nobody should be on SNAP benefits. What kind of fucking country is this where people, whether you're working or not, like what are our human rights, right? Like, what are human rights? You need shelter, you need food, you need healthcare, you need water, you need air. I mean, like, there are certain things that we cannot live without. And the fact that we have so many millions of people who are reliant on government aid, which, like, I believe in a robust government that takes care of its people. That's the whole, like, what other point is there in having a government system, right? But it shouldn't be that we demean people, force them to work 1, 2, 3 jobs and still rely on government help. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, good. Probably good, because I was pissed.
No, good.
Saying some shit.
Do it again. I'm going to rewind it.
But yeah, look, the fact that, look, we should feed it. Like, it shouldn't be, you know, a hot take that we should just feed everyone in this fucking country. I don't care if you're on drugs. I don't care if you made every bad decision on earth. Here's some fucking food, right? And that's a hot take, you know, right there. But just the fact that half the people on SNAP work full time, you know, tells you, like, hey, just getting a job is not, you can't just say get a job, you bum, because half these people are working fucking full time and this society is not covering their bills at all. And you're taking away, you know, it used to be like, even in that situation, well, you've got WIC, which is women, infants, and children. So if you have a kid, at least we're going to care for the fucking kid. And now we're not even going to care for the fucking kid. Like, we're stripping away every humanity left in our government, which is gone. But like, we're taking this as a society. We're saying, yeah, well, the alternative, let's get a Democrat in here. He'll restore 5% of WIC payments
You
or
get
something.
a tax credit. If you fill out the proper forms at the right amount and use black or blue ballpoint, please, or we will yeah, exactly. You should not have to run through hoops to live a dignified life. And
hey, everyone in society, here's some food. Hey, you're hungry? Here's fucking food
and water. Like the fact that Nestle gets to bottle water, own water, and sell it to us in the microplastic bottles that are also going to give us all cancer and kill us while denying us health care.
And we're just giving all of our drinkable water to fucking AI data centers now with no public approval on this shit.
Can't run without purified water, unlike humans, apparently. This is a compilation of some people talking about the very real effects of these SNAP benefits being stolen by the Republicans. But again, if Democrats, it's the same thing with healthcare. Democrats are going to be like, we need more subsidies. We need the SNAP benefits. We need a $35 minimum wage that is tacked to the price of inflation. We need to tax billionaires out of existence. Though that is what Democrats should be running on. Not, we just need more subsidies. We need to that is a losing, uninspiring, fucking neoliberal who got us here in the first place and paved the way for fascism kind of a platform. We need to abolish all of these people. But anyway, here are some very real people speaking from their heart about the horrors they are enduring because of our Democrats and Republicans.
So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're going to do without that food stamp money. Because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money,
I'm so tired of seeing people say like, oh, well, maybe if you had a job, you could get your groceries, or, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have to depend on stamps. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my 2 kids. So yes, I depend on stamps. And I have a full-time job. So please know that people out here depend on stamps is not because we out here just mooching off the government. It's because we literally need that to provide for our family.
I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating. Plus myself, I eat about 1 meal a day, but still.
It's so heartbreaking.
That's the social contract that the billionaire class wants us all to subscribe to.
Just so people know, and most people don't even get the full amount, but SNAP is $6.50 a day for food, right? $6.50 a day, and Congress people get subsidized $69 a day
for food.
for food compared to $6.50 that they're going to cut the $6.50 from people and tell you need to stop, buying your matcha lattes or whatever.
It's disgusting. And not only that, they are now using AI to gin up more racism because as they can no longer just blame the economic collapse of our country and the fact that we produce nothing except for war, genocide, and a bubble of data centers and poverty, obviously. They are now using AI to highlight fake Black mothers who are enraged about their SNAP benefits. This guy, Jeremy Krasko, put a little compilation together.
This is AI. Here's how we know and why it matters. It's made by impossible_ASMR1, who, after 8 failed slot posts and a 3-month break, decided that Sora could finally make their dream content. Videos of Black women trying to use EBT in places it's not accepted. True creativity unleashed by AI. The shutdown created an opportunity to have them yell at the camera, but it's not till the whole family's back there that the full racist stereotype is fulfilled. This is rage bait and will get angry commenters who, when they learn it's AI, will say, oh, but it's true anyway? Which of course it's not, and that's cope for being played. They were so played they didn't notice the kid missing half an arm while the other kids are frozen in place for no reason, and these down here are warping together. They were too focused on this fake AI person cramming in a script that they used 3 other times for their other fake AI people. I will gladly knock down AI rage bait of all kinds and from anywhere on the spectrum because it's part of the same problem, casually letting our feed slip into fake, parallel AI universes that exist only to divide us.
There was another one today that came out that was a woman talking about how she scams AI or how she scams Snap, like she sells her Snap stamps for money. And the Sora, which is the AI company, logos in the top left of the video. So somebody is going in and creating these just to gin up racism.
Yeah, and just so people know, like, yes, that Soro logo is a dead giveaway for sure, but they're now removing that from most posts. So it's not, the next phase is there's no sign that, you have to do your sleuthing. But I wanted to say I was listening to Justin. Cheers. Let's read that real quick. And then
Thank you. Yeah, repeat Lennon, every society is 3 meals away from chaos. He wasn't joking about poor. He was warning the rich. Thank you. We are all so much closer to being homeless than to being millionaires or billionaires.
Yes.
They are about to learn a lesson. Cheers and thank you. 100%. Yes.
So I did want to mention what I listened to on NPR, I think this morning, it might have been yesterday morning, but they had someone on who was suffering from, the SNAP, but worried about the SNAP because they relied on it. But of course they had someone on who's like, yes, the system needs to be reformed. I know a lot of people who are faking it, just a Republican stereotype. And that's NPR for you. That's what they do. They're like, they sort of both sides most of these issues.
Scratch a liberal.
Present
a
like,
liberal.
yes, even the SNAP recipient thinks that the system needs to be means tested more is the NPR view on this shit.
Of course it is, because liberals are capitalists and capitalists will always side with their financial privilege and comfort, and they always pave the way to fascism. Read a fucking book. Like, that is where I absolutely, like, I don't normally want to be like, read theory, but there are some things where it's like, we see
the formula over and over
every time, like, lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Rhyme it or whatever. Doesn't repeat it.
Right.
Rhymes, all this shit. Yeah.
And just to wrap up the NPR person, the SNAP benefits person, the reason they were on there is they wanted an end to this by both parties, and it's like she couldn't understand why the Democrats were not ending this for her. That was the point, is that the NPR is they're going to put up all these painful people going through this stuff who basically are centristy as hell, and that's your empathy. So end this so she can get her SNAP benefits, and then we can means test it and get rid of all the fraudulent SNAP benefits. Even though they've studied this ad nauseum with SNAP, it's one of the most targeted programs there is. Right. You know, when you donate to end homelessness, you know, if it's a national project, 99% of them are skimming all the money, and it's like $1 million to house $400,000 a year to house a homeless person, kind of thing, is what you end up with a lot of these situations, right? But SNAP is not that. SNAP is the most regulated, highest efficiency ways to feed people.
Which also should be completely unnecessary if we had a working system. But yes, like, Amen. Of course, they're always going to talk about like, oh, you scammed, some mother scammed something. Why'd she have 6 kids, by the way? Why? That's what they're going to focus on. Not they're billionaire losers who are stealing our money, our jobs, our homes, our healthcare, our water, our air, our soil, so they can build data centers to create AI that does fuck all for our knowledge. It destroys our brains and also is meant to replace us. That they're going to focus on somebody who maybe had a hot.
Of course, and that's why we're seeing it's a memeable thing. And that's what keeps this culture war going, and we blame each other instead of looking at the system, right? That's the whole game. So we're seeing the recycled old shit of like, oh, look, Whole Foods is selling oysters and it says SNAP benefits available. Okay, even if you could buy oysters at Whole Foods with SNAP, people using SNAP are not buying oysters at Whole Foods. It's actual food is what it says. That's what it means when you go to Whole Foods and it says you can buy this thing. It's food, right?
Oh, wait, sorry. I was trying to read the comments and I zoned out for a second. Did you say that they were saying people are buying oysters from Whole Foods?
Well, if you go to Whole Foods website, somebody did this.
Right.
It says, you know, when you go to order, it's got oysters there and it says purchasable by SNAP. Right. You know, because there's like a filter you can have on the site if you need to buy things via SNAP or something. Right. Yeah. And so that's just saying, hey, this is actually considered food by the EBT program.
Right.
But
because we're not allowed to
EBT people are buying they're buying ramen and frozen chicken and the cheapest shit. They're not buying oysters at Whole Foods. It's a false argument, but it's the same recycled bullshit.
It always is. And also, I mean, I happen to really like oysters, but like that's like, you
Fuck
know,
oysters.
bottom feeders in the ocean and raw, and they are not allowed to just go in and buy for $5.99 a prepared hot roasted chicken. They have to do everything from scratch.
Which might be the best value at Costco, honestly. So what are we doing here?
And prohibited. Like, it's so disgusting. It's just so disgusting. Hey, we're past our hard out. Wait.
This is true.
We just want to shout out to Zainab. Thank you. More worried about poor people potentially stealing SNAP or buying cookies and soda than billionaires who are robbing us all, destroying our whole world. They are destroying our world. Like, it's just amazing. Yeah, and it's so funny. Like, I know you used to be Finn something, and I'm sorry because I can't remember. But like, I wish all of everybody's handles would go back to normal. I don't know how to make that happen.
We'll find out. We'll try.
But yes, I mean, that's the other thing is all of the SNAP benefits actually go right back into the economy. They subsidize the Walmarts and the Amazons and all these enormous corporations who pay their people poverty wages that keep them homeless, hungry. And so not only do they get the subsidy to build their destructive companies in our towns, but they also, it's like they double, triple dip. They also get the government subsidies for their employees whom they underpay, who are then reliant on all of us. Which, I mean, like that's not, but like reliant
the formula,
on extra money because they're not being paid properly.
The whole formula is fucked. It's by design. Poor towns get taken advantage of. Walmart moves in, Target moves in, and then they just pack it up and move the Walmart a couple miles away because, you know, they already maxed out the exploitation of that city. You know, it's this formula just keeps repeating itself. But we're seeing it amplified with AI and backing AI as the next evil fucking shit. And so at a minimum, can we not fucking use AI, people? I keep preaching this, but let's just not.
100%. And the fact that fucking Cuomo does that in his last appeal is just so telling. Amazing. We should, because we don't have a one good thing, not because there isn't something, but because we didn't find one. Sorry. But we should have one fun video before we leave, right?
Fair. So we've got Halloween scares. I know the kids scares were a little like, iffy. People were like, oh, the poor kids. No. These are adults getting scared.
Okay,
these are adults getting scared. We'll come back and say goodbye, but this is a little all for us.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No! God, please, no!
Have her dog was like a wiener dog.
Jason, what do you want for dinner?
Oh my God!
Destiny, stop!
Oh my God! Oh my
All right.
There you go.
I'm going to go eat.
Fair enough.
Bye, everybody. Cheers. Have
Cheers.
a happy, safe Halloween. We love you guys. Keep punching up. We will see you on Sunday for our shit show where Pat won't pee sitting down.
I'll report back about how the old pooping standing up worked out.
Look, oh my God. I can't wait to see the video. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.